In the deepest part of a mysterious crystal cave, a tiny golden spark flickered weakly in the darkness. It belonged to a little firefly named Glimmer. Her light, once bright enough to fill the night with wonder, was almost gone. As she whispered, "I'm sorry, I can't shine anymore," something incredible began to happen. Far away from the cave lay the beautiful Glowworm Valley, where every evening thousands of glowing fireflies filled the sky with dancing lights. Colorful flowers bloomed beneath ancient trees, sparkling streams flowed gently through the forest, and the whole valley glowed with magical beauty. Among all the fireflies, one shined brighter than the rest. Her name was Glimmer. Whenever she flew, sparkling golden trails followed behind her like tiny stars. Everyone admired her gentle smile, graceful flying, and beautiful glowing light. Every evening, the fireflies gathered for the Great Illumination. Together, they danced through the night sky, creating glowing circles, waves, and stars above the valley. Glimmer led the celebration with joy, making every creature below stop and watch in amazement. But behind her bright smile, Glimmer carried a secret. Every night, before she rested, she quietly wondered if one day her magical light might disappear forever. It was a thought she never shared with anyone. The next morning, Glimmer woke with a strange feeling. She looked down and gasped. Her beautiful glow was flickering like a tiny candle in the wind. She tried to stay calm, but deep inside, fear began to grow. Glimmer tried everything she could think of. She drank sweet flower nectar, rested beneath soft leaves, and even asked the wise old moths for advice. But no matter what she did, her light continued to grow weaker. By the middle of the day, the last little sparkle disappeared. Glimmer looked at herself in disbelief. Her glow was completely gone. For the very first time in her life, she felt like an ordinary little bug instead of the brightest firefly in the valley. Her friends quickly noticed something was wrong. They gathered around her with worried faces, asking if she was hurt or sick. Glimmer wanted to answer, but sadness filled her heart. She lowered her head, unable to explain what had happened. Hoping someone could help, Glimmer flew to the oldest and wisest firefly in the valley, Grand Elder Lumina. After listening carefully, Lumina gently smiled and said that Glimmer's light had not disappeared. It had simply gone on a journey, and only Glimmer could discover where it truly belonged. Grand Elder Lumina pointed toward the distant Whispering Mountains. Hidden beneath them were the legendary Crystal Caves, where the secret of Glimmer's light could be found. With a hopeful smile, Glimmer thanked the wise elder and prepared for the greatest adventure of her life. As the sun slowly set, Glimmer took one last look at the beautiful Glowworm Valley. Then she spread her delicate wings and flew toward the distant mountains. For the first time, she was traveling completely alone, carrying only hope in her heart. Without her glowing light, no one noticed Glimmer anymore. She flew past groups of happy fireflies practicing their evening dance, but they simply continued playing. Glimmer realized that being unnoticed felt lonely, yet she bravely kept moving forward. Soon, Glimmer reached the mysterious spider's web forest. Thick silver webs stretched between giant ancient trees, sparkling with tiny drops of dew. Every strand was a dangerous trap, so she carefully flew through the winding maze, staying calm with every gentle flap of her wings. As she searched for a safe path, Glimmer spotted a beautiful butterfly trapped inside one of the sticky webs. The butterfly struggled desperately, but the web only tightened around its delicate wings. Glimmer wanted to help, but she knew she could not rescue it alone. Nearby, a strong beetle was walking through the forest. Swallowing her pride, Glimmer politely asked if he would help rescue the butterfly. The beetle looked surprised for a moment, then smiled kindly and agreed to lend a helping hand. Working together, Glimmer guided the beetle while he carefully broke apart the sticky web. At last, the butterfly fluttered free and thanked them with all its heart before soaring happily into the sky. Glimmer smiled, realizing that kindness becomes stronger when it is shared. As Glimmer continued her journey, she thought about what had happened. She understood that asking for help did not make someone weak. In fact, it often brought out the very best in others. Her heart felt just a little lighter. After leaving the forest, Glimmer arrived at a strange and silent river. Its dark, glass-like water reflected not faces, but hearts. The air was peaceful, and the magical river seemed to be waiting quietly for her. Glimmer looked into the river and was surprised by what she saw. Instead of the confident Firefly everyone admired, she saw a frightened little bug hiding behind a bright light. For the first time, Glimmer truly began to understand herself, and her journey became more important than ever. The quiet river whispered a gentle question. Who are you without your light? Glimmer searched her heart, but no answer came. She had spent so much time being the brightest Firefly that she had forgotten to discover who she truly was. Glimmer sat beside the river as the stars slowly filled the night sky. She remembered her family, her friends, and all the joyful dances in Glowworm Valley. She wondered if everyone cared about her because of her glowing light or simply because she was Glimmer. As Glimmer spoke honestly from her heart, something wonderful happened. A tiny golden flicker appeared inside her once again. It was small, but it was real. Hope quietly returned, and Glimmer smiled for the first time since her journey had begun. The magical river accepted Glimmer's honesty. Bright crystal stones slowly rose from the water, forming a glowing path across the river. With courage in her heart, Glimmer carefully crossed to the other side, ready for whatever awaited her next. Soon, Glimmer reached the legendary crystal caves beneath the Whispering Mountains. Giant crystals sparkled with beautiful colors, filling the entrance with magical light. The place was breathtaking, yet it felt ancient, mysterious, and full of secrets waiting to be discovered. As Glimmer flew deeper into the cave, the glowing crystals absorbed every bit of her tiny light. Once again, complete darkness surrounded her. Although she felt afraid, she did not turn back. She knew she had come too far to give up now. Then a warm and gentle voice echoed through the cave. Before Glimmer stood the magnificent Heartstone, an ancient crystal filled with timeless wisdom. It had been waiting patiently for her arrival and welcomed her with kindness instead of fear. The Heartstone filled the cave with glowing memories from Glimmer's past. She watched herself teaching a young firefly, helping a lost traveler, and bringing smiles to lonely creatures. The Heartstone gently explained that every act of kindness had added a little more light to her heart. At last, Glimmer understood. Somewhere along the way, she had started caring more about being admired than about helping others. Her beautiful light had faded because she had forgotten its true purpose. Tears filled her eyes as she realized her mistake. With all her heart, Glimmer whispered a sincere apology. She promised never to forget that kindness was more important than attention. The Heartstone glowed warmly around her, not with judgment, but with love, forgiveness, and hope for a brighter tomorrow. The Heartstone gently asked Glimmer to remember every moment she had brought happiness to someone else. She remembered teaching a tiny firefly how to glow, helping a lost traveler find the way home, and dancing with a lonely cricket. Each happy memory filled her heart with warmth. One by one, those beautiful memories began to shine inside Glimmer. Suddenly, a warm golden light appeared from deep within her heart. This light was different. It did not come from praise or attention. It came from love, kindness, and the joy of helping others. As the sun began to set, Glimmer flew out of the crystal caves. Her glow was no longer dazzling or flashy. Instead, it was soft, gentle, and steady, like a lantern glowing peacefully in the night. She smiled, knowing she had finally found her true light. With a peaceful heart, Glimmer flew back across the forests, rivers, and mountains toward Glowworm Valley. Everything around her looked more beautiful than ever before. This time, she wasn't thinking about being the brightest. She was simply happy to be going home. When Glimmer arrived, she didn't fly to the center of the celebration. Instead, she visited the young fireflies who felt nervous and unsure. She encouraged them with kind words and gentle smiles, helping each one discover the light already shining inside them. That evening, the Great Illumination began once again. This time, Glimmer danced alongside everyone instead of leading them. Together, thousands of glowing fireflies filled the sky with beautiful patterns, making the entire valley sparkle brighter than ever before. The other fireflies noticed something special. Glimmer's light was softer than before, yet it felt warmer, calmer, and filled with love. They realized that true beauty is not about shining the brightest, but about making others feel safe, happy, and welcome. The young fireflies gathered around Glimmer, eager to learn her secret. She gently explained that their light was a gift meant to be shared. The more kindness they showed, the brighter their hearts would shine. Everyone listened carefully, inspired by her words. Soon, every firefly in Glowworm Valley glowed together in perfect harmony. The forest sparkled with joy, laughter, and friendship. No one tried to outshine anyone else. Together, they created the brightest night the valley had ever seen. From that day on, Glimmer became the most loved firefly in the valley. Not because she had the brightest glow, but because she helped everyone else find theirs. And remember, just like Glimmer, the brightest light always comes from a kind heart that shares love with others. Until next time, keep shining wherever you go.